Hey gang, we're having a special episode of The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS tonight. We will be reviewing the Big Finish audio, the Martian invasion of Planetoid 50. Now, if you're not familiar with Big Finish audio, you can always check them out at bigfinish.com and check out all the audios. If you've been looking for a story that has the 10th Doctor, the Paternoster Gang, and Missy all together, this is going to be the episode that you want to check out there. But before we begin, we just want to warn you.
Spoilers! This is Sophie Aldred with The Legend of the Travelling TARDIS.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. My name is Christian Basil. We will be introducing the panelists in just a moment, and today we will be reviewing the Martian invasion of Planetoid 50. If you're not familiar with Big Finish, go check them out because they have some wonderful stories. We're going to be reviewing an episode with the Ninth Doctor and River song. That should be coming up very shortly. But today we're going to be interviewing, if you can see on the screen, for those of you not on the radio, you can see, just in case, David Tennant, the 10th Doctor, Missy, and the Paternoster Gang all in one episode. Again, the Martian invasion of Planetoid 50. Now, before we begin, I want to give a big thank you out to everybody who helped yesterday. A big thank you. Because I just got an email like within the last 5 minutes, and I want to read it to everybody who participated in yesterday's affair. If you're not familiar, I'll read this to you. The Planetary Society, if anybody's familiar with it, is a society started by Carl Sagan. It's run by Bill Nye and a couple of other folks. And they had asked people to come up with a 1-minute short video audio recording that they were potentially going to be using in the Planetary Radio podcast, which is provided by the Planetary Society. Well, and I'm glad Kev was in the chat. Well, I wanted to let everybody know we received a message from them and the following. Hi, Christian. Thanks so much for sending in this submission. I've added it to the show. So we are going to be part of the Planetary Society's podcast there. I've also added people in the video to our selection of our webpage that lists a featured episode. Please let me know if they're. Oh, okay. So I'm going to make sure I get everybody's name right, and they got the names right. So cool. So, team, I don't know when it's going to be. I'm going to ask them, but we will be part of the Planetary Society podcast as well as their website. And not only that, but this is good. Would it be right if we shared the video on our webpage for this episode? It's so well done. Took half an hour to put it together, but we did it. And I'm like sitting here going like, yeah, I ain't gonna do it. So thank you everybody who was there yesterday. We did a quick episode. It was like 30 minutes. It was off the cuff. We were going to do this, and it paid off. So we will be now part of the Planetary Society's podcast and their official website. So what do you guys think about that? And like, I got that email like
Fantastic.
5 minutes ago.
Do we get pins?
You could ask. I don't know if we're getting any, but
Because we're on the podcast
with
thing.
pins.
Exactly. That made me happy out there. Speaking of we're getting pins, we'll start off by introducing our panelists. And
Christian, I missed your segues.
there you go.
Yes.
No, I didn't.
Womp, womp, womp.
Let's start off with the
Hello.
lovely Dave Chapman. How you doing, Dave? Welcome.
Thank you. I'm tempting fate today.
Tell us about this green screen that you got behind.
I have to do some of the ticky talky things that the kids are talking about these days
Oy.
because I'm going to be doing. You know, I opened up one of the days of this here Advent calendar on a previous episode,
I like
but I'm
that
going to be
picture.
opening up one of these a day. I'm going to pre-record them this time for October because it's Halloweeny. So I need to have a green screen for that. So I've got a green screen, and I'm tempting fate by leaving the green screen up instead of putting a background up.
Gotcha. Dave will be handling the chats
my
for
friend.
today. Oh, who's your little partner today? He's got a name.
This little guy is a game.
Is a game.
This is a game. So I'm going to flip over to this other camera here real quick because I've got it
Okay.
handy. And I open this up. It's a prototype, obviously, but it is a card game that I'm going to be doing on my stream.
That is.
So,
That
yeah.
is cool.
Right? It's on Kickstarter right now. It's called Park Life. They actually quoted. I showed this off again on one of the episodes real briefly, and they did actually quote us. So, The Legend of Traveling TARDIS is on their Kickstarter page.
Sweet. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Park Life. And
But yeah,
this
so
looks
we-
cool. It's like Build-A-Bear meets Monopoly.
Right.
It's really cool.
And I've got my little. We'll explain why I've got this
Well, let's
sitting
discuss.
here a little bit later, and I've got this fancy box that's hidden under here,
Mhm.
and I'm not telling you what's in it. This I'm not opening today. This
Okay.
is killing me not opening this. This is going to be a big deal when I open it. I'll be opening it live at some point. I'll let people know, and then it will immediately come back down. It will not. I will not be putting a VOD on for this when I open this. It'll go back up at a specific time later,
Okay.
but I'm going to record it live so that any people can join in as a special treat.
And don't forget to join Paparazzo, Mr. Dave Chapman at therathole.ca, and you can check it out. He also does live shows going over games. He had one earlier, right before this
did.
show. So
Mhm.
make sure you're checking it out and check out the games that he's going to be playing. And then sometimes they cross over. There you go. Please subscribe, youtube.com, therathole.ca. And our next panelist, because I want to just get away from the segues all of a sudden, is Tom Kostak.
Get rid of the
I
banner.
had two segues right there for a treat, and I forgot what the other one was.
Wasn't going there. How you doing there, Tom?
I too did some videos today. I bought some
You
blue
did.
milk from True Moo.
Oh, yuck.
No, it's vanilla. You know, go to the True Moo website and it'll tell you what stores has it available at. Maybe.
Did you
So
do an opening?
check out my
Did you
review on that.
You did a taste test.
Oh yeah, I did. I was the first one, and I did the toy collection, and I did 4 videos today.
Oh,
I did
wow.
good.
Well, check out his videos, the Reverend Amagon, at youtube.com/Reverend Amagon. And you can see Tom and all 4 of his new videos coming out, and taste the milk, taste the blue rainbow. Yeah.
How you gonna segue that one?
Speaking of blue,
Mark and Mackenzie.
I don't know.
I don't
Mark
do blue
Lindsay,
movies
Gary
anymore. I
Travels.
refuse. I was young and I needed the money.
Oh no!
No, hi
Thanks,
gang.
guys.
It's been a while. So good to see y'all.
Check out Mark Muncie at Erie Travels. He's going all over the place looking for Bigfoot, looking for ghosts. This is the man out there. Dimbar says there's new Reese's peanut butter cups out, but I haven't tried them yet.
I'm a big fan of the flavored Kit Kats, so we'll have to try those. Though I got to say, the key lime Kit Kats, if you sleep on those, you're missing out. So get those.
It's like chocolate, yeah.
Yeah, they're delicious. They're right up there with any treat from Buc-ee's. So the caviar of the South.
We're going there. We're going with the corn puffs or whatever they call them.
Yeah, and I saw Dave had to show his stuff off, so I had to show mine off too. But this will come up later on the episode.
Yep,
so.
this will all make sense to everybody as soon as we start reviewing. The Martian invasion of Planetoid.
My road trip album that I forced everyone to listen to, not the LP, but we have various versions of it. So.
Gotcha. Speaking of delicious.
Finally a segue that makes
There
sense.
you go.
Yeah, I'm very tasty. Yeah. Well, since we're showing off stuff, there's my new book that came out.
I got
it. And Cass has already asked about what's going on behind me. Well, I'm using a poster. It's on purpose because I haven't taken the sticky tack off. I'm going to actually put up my poster. Got a new poster and I got a black frame. So that's going to look better than what that does. And it's going to stop constantly falling down, which it always does all the time,
Sweetness. And you can check out Mackenzie on her YouTube channel, youtube.com/Mackenzie Floor Extended, and on her Twitch account. Check her out.
Yes.
You're still playing Twitch, right?
Yes, I am on Twitch. It's been kind of interesting, the journey of between Twitch and YouTube. YouTube is starting to pop off, so I'm trying to get more content up to YouTube, since it seems to be, whatever reason, more people seem to like to watch me watching a video versus watching me live, which is fine. Some people are like that.
It is incredible.
If that's the way I'm supposed to be, I'm supposed to be. Nothing wrong with it.
All 3 of our Twitches are now down at the very bottom there.
Oh, okay, cool. So all the Twitches,
because I didn't happen to have it as a pop up.
Well, Mackenzie brought up the right thing, because we were talking YouTube, and we got a bigger audience now, 5,500 subscribers, and still climbing like mad. I mean, we think we just hit 5,000 like a week ago. So there it is. We love you guys. Every single one of you have come up over here and are watching the shows or watching our little shorts or however you got here. We thank you for just hitting that subscribe button and giving us a chance there. And again, if you're just joining us today, we'll be reviewing the Big Finish audio, the Martian invasion of Planetoid 50, starting David Tennant as the 10th Doctor. Michelle Rodriguez as Missy and the Paternoster Gang. If you've been dreaming about this little team up, this is the episode you definitely want to check out. Hey, Roger, how you doing there? So,
hey, Roger.
There it is. And if nobody's familiar with it, yep, there it is.
Well,
Meow.
Oh, we got our own cat. Oh my God!
We just get
swatting the camera.
It's like a big tentacled tail.
Ew.
there we go.
It's an alien. It's a Martian. It's a hairy Martian.
Yeah.
It's a Martian.
We're just gonna do this for half an hour.
I'm fine with that.
TARDIS cat. TARDIS cat alert. There
Yeah.
you go.
My allergies are exploding just through the camera.
Everybody,
Just leave her. Just leave her with the tail.
Yeah.
I think it'll just be extra fun.
Really professional. Trust us.
Once I figure out, get him off my keyboard, because he's trying to change my keyboard to I don't even know what.
So without further ado, if this is your first time ever watching us review something, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a round robin. I'm just going to be asking our team what number between 1 and 10 that they rated this episode. 10 being awesome, 1 being not so awesome. And of course, the lowest score will be going first. Again, let's just do a round robin, and then we will be going around and discussing what we can. And please, if you are in the chat, Dave's taking care of us today. If you have seen the episode, or you have questions about the episode, or you just want to shoot your ideas out there, please let us know. Over 500,000 plus views, Christian, I believe. 750,000. Yeah. They're really coming up out there. So thank you, everybody who's been watching us and who's just been, we really appreciate what you do to take care of us out there. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead with Mr. Dave Chapman. You're going to start it off. What did you rate Planetoid 50?
I'm giving it an 8.
Giving it an 8 out there. Tom, what did you rate this particular episode of Big Finish?
Wow. I was thinking 10.
Really? Okay.
I couldn't stop laughing my head off.
Okay, gotcha. Mark, how did you rate this episode?
I give it a 9. Yeah, I gave it a solid 9.
Give it a solid 9. Mackenzie, wrapping up the numbers. What?
Also a solid 9.
And also a solid 9. Wow. Okay, so we got some high scores out here. Dave is the lowest of the team, so we are going to be starting with him. And what we're going to do is just pick it apart, say what we thought was the best, not so best. But the highest score is, the lowest score is an 8, so I don't foresee this having any problem out there. So, Dave, we're going to start it off out here. What did you think about the invasion of Planetoid 50? What did you like? What you didn't like?
So, full disclosure, I gave it an 8 partly because I can't remember all of it. It's been a crazy couple of days, so every time I listened to it, I had to do it while doing other things. I'm sure that I would actually give this probably a 9 as well when I get a chance to re-listen to it about a 4th time, because that's how many times I've listened to it and not been able to catch the entire thing full all the way through. But it is great. It is fabulous. It is a bit. There's a bit strange. The whole jump between doctors is a bit weird. But again, maybe I just missed something in there. But it seemed a bit weird. Might as well jump right to the point. So here's your spoiler, people. Here's your spoiler. I'm going to turn that off before it starts tracking me again. There we go. I've got a camera here and a camera here, and this one keeps trying to track me. The Doctor ends up on Earth in Victorian era during the War of the Worlds. But the War of the Worlds didn't happen in Doctor Who. It's still just a radio play. There are Martians, but as they point out, they are tall lizardy things. Right? We've all seen those episodes. They're not these guys. The big giant machines that come from the War of the Worlds. But this is where he has landed, is in the War of the Worlds. And I love that. And the reason that I've been showing this off, and this is a remix album, and Mark's got the original there. I do have the original. I just couldn't find I don't have a physical CD of it any longer. Yeah, go ahead, pull it up there, Mark.
All right.
Yeah.
That's that amazing artwork.
Yeah. So this is Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds.
Audio. Jeff Wayne and so much.
Okay.
Yeah, that was from the stage show. That was my last trip to England. I went and saw the live stage show of War of the Worlds because I'm that big of a nerd.
I hate you just a little bit. But yes, they mention in this, there's a book and there's a movie, there's a musical, a stadium show, and that this is the stadium show that they're talking about is Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds. You can find various versions of it on YouTube. I was really lucky. Andrew Lloyd Webber's channel, The Show Must Go On, put up a version that has a hologram of Liam Neeson. It's a see-through screen that comes up from the floor, life size. So people are interacting with this clearly pre-recorded version of Liam Neeson. They're on stage, and you have to watch it to believe it. There are clips of it on there. There's other versions that are not Liam Neeson that are on there. It's brilliant. The music is fun, and that was a giant highlight for me. Was just that existed, because you don't get that mentioned very often.
Keep going, Dave. I just wanted a cat moving while you're talking.
Oh, that's totally fine. There's the butthole.
No, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that.
Right, no more butthole. That being said, we also get the Paternoster Gang in this, and how do you not love every appearance of them? They kind of get separated out, so you interact with Strax separately from things. Jenny gets hypnotized by, wait for it, spoiler, Missy, and therefore Madame Vastra has to kind of do her bidding to make sure that Jenny stays safe, and it works. And I'll leave the banter of Missy to someone else, but it is brilliant. Like I said, I know that when I can actually listen to this front to back and actually pay attention and actually listen, I will love this, and I will up my score to a 9.5. Does it get a 10? Probably not. Again, that'll depend on how well I pick up why the heck the Doctor is changing between Doctors. Also, it loses at least a half a point for not having David Bradley as the first Doctor, but David Noonan's great. He's done it most of the time for Big Finish, so I can't be too upset about that. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on it. It's fabulous though. It's a little over an hour, and yeah, it's absolutely incredible.
I know we're getting ahead of this, but I truly am just saying I would recommend this audio, especially if you love all three 100%. Of them, just to listen to them spar off each other, especially David and Michelle. Yeah. Holy cow.
Did anybody else listen? Has anybody else listened to the rest of the Once and Future series? This box set that this is in?
No,
yeah,
I want to.
Okay.
This is a series I wanted to listen to.
The reason for the changing of the Doctors is this is a degeneration crisis he's going through. So he's altering between his different forms for some reason. I don't want to spoil that if you listen to the whole box set. But that's why at the beginning he's the first Doctor, and then suddenly he gets hit by a Martian ray and gets turned into the 10th Doctor. And then at the end, he's kind of degenerating again. And we have our good friend Tim Traylor makes a cameo at the end as the 3rd Doctor. So
that explains so much. Thank you very much, Mark.
There you go.
And that will also change.
That extra point
knowing
now.
that it's only part of the thing also changes things for sure.
All right, give it back its extra point, and now you're back on a 9 with the rest of us. So.
Yeah, basically.
It is something where you could tell that there's a story arc in there. You know, it's a bad wolf or something in there. They mentioned the Union and the degeneration, but you could probably still deal with what's going on without having to know anything.
Yeah,
it's a big sit-alone. You can stand alone, I should say.
For me, this is the better 60th anniversary special. This is what I was expecting for our 60th anniversary special, something like this of this level. And that's why I give it a 9. I'm jumping right in, Christian. Sorry.
Yeah, let's go ahead. That's fine by me.
All right. No, this I think
really
they're all really good in this series, but this one hits me because it is that Doctor Who War of the Worlds crossover that I dreamed of as a kid. Right. My first album that I got a paycheck when I was 7 for acting in The King and I. And I went to a record store and bought the Star Wars 2 LP set. And then I bought the Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds, because War of the Worlds was my favorite book. Yes, I was 7 years old. War of the Worlds and The Hobbit were my 2 favorite books. And I've been a nut for both those things. And Doctor Who was what I watched on television. So this was I was waiting for this. It was amazing. And with the Paternoster Gang thrown in, oh my gosh, my point knockoff is because of what they did to Jenny for the first 20 minutes of the episode, where Jenny is basically, they pulled the Hawkeye from the Avengers movie where they didn't know what to do with her. So let's hypnotize her, make her Missy's pawn. And that's why Vastra is not going crazy and killing everybody. But we all know Vastra would have still gone crazy and killed Missy in a second.
I kind of appreciated that, because the one thing that would control Vastra is Jenny. I mean, the only way you would, keep her at bay is if you did something to Jenny, and and it was expressed even further. I mean, they even showed like their love for each other. Like at first, the hypnosis, Jenny didn't even recognize Vastra, and then slowly she like started to wake up, and I really appreciated that, because that to me showed the characterizations between the two.
One of the cool things is they were even talking, Missy is going through her own degeneration crisis as well.
Yeah.
So she's afraid that's why she's not in this herself. But the spoiler for this is the reason that the War of the Worlds is happening is Missy finally read the book and realized it's an amazing book, and decided she was bored enough that she wanted to make it actually happen. So she makes it happen on this weird planet in the middle of nowhere. And to make it real, she brings people from Victorian London there. So that's how the Paternoster Gang winds up there. And our companion for the episode, Jessamy Moore, who is a fictitious character, but could have been real. I mean, she's one of those Victorian reporters, which is such a great character concept for a companion for the Doctor.
Especially for this. Especially for War of the Worlds.
Especially for War of the Worlds. A reporter is the whole main character of the story. So it's very well done. She does excellent with the material. And again, that whole Missy banter with David Tennant is incredible. This was the first one, I think, that they recorded during lockdown. So that's why I give it a minus of a point, is they're not acting together. And you can tell because some of the scenes are not flowing as if Michelle Gomez and David Tennant were in the same room. Oh my gosh, that would have been the most incredible dialogue. As it is, it's amazing. And you can tell Michelle Gomez is ad-libbing like mad through it. But I think they step on a few of her jokes because of that. And that kind of kills it.
I want to mention two things. Did it, and I'm glad you mentioned that. Did it feel like at towards the end, there was kind of like this audio pause or a rift of like, there's supposed to be something going on here, and nothing is, it's like a chasm of quiet for like 10 seconds. It's just like, why would they stop talking? And I'm glad you mentioned
there's some awkward pauses, I think. And
that was my first notice. The story took place because Missy got bored.
Yeah, no, great.
It's like the whole thing is because Missy got bored out of her mind.
Yeah,
that's funny.
And she and there's so many little throwaway bits in this of Doctor Who lore, like that the Doctor was at Vastra and Ginny's wedding. Mm-hmm. That's a little fun little throwaway bit. And then of course Dave Starkey as Strax, stealing every scene he's in. As always, the man can do no wrong, in my opinion. And just give Strax his own series now, please. If we're getting a spinoff, just make it Strax. The Adventures of Strax and Boys. It'll just be hysterical.
Come along, boy.
If they ever bring back the Paternoster Gang in as a spinoff, that should be something that should be drilled into RTD's head to do. But yeah, there should be an episode if they ever did that where it's called Strax and the Boys.
Strax and the Boys, yeah. Just for the glory of Santar. There we go. But and they even changed the intro for this one. Big finish for the love of stories. It's we got Dan Starkey doing as Strax going, big finish for the glory of stories. Which is great.
And there's one thing I caught too. I mean, for us classic Doctor Who buff, he kept referring to him as Herbert.
Yes.
If anybody knows Time Lash and people saying there's actually a couple of people I've come across that said, when is he going to meet H.G. Wells? And I said he had.
Yeah.
And what I hated about that episode is they really did a disservice to H.G. I'm like, he acts like that, really? You made him a goofy character? And I was just like, I get it, but it was just like that one of a billion reasons why I didn't like time lash.
Yeah, they
So-
can't all be time after time and getting Malcolm McDowell to be H.G. Wells.
Got Malcolm McDowell and David Warner going up. That would be an episode. And then you bring in David Tennant. Oh, hell yeah. Let's bring in the Sony money for that one. Speaking of the Sony money, we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, Tom and Mackenzie are going to be giving us a review, and we're getting to your chats too. If you've heard this audio, please tell us about what you think as well. When we return, please continue to stay logged on, tuned in, and we'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Sadie Miller, and this is The Legend of the Travelling TARDIS.
Oh, brilliant! It's hard to believe that in the 56-year history of the greatest sci-fi television show in the English language, there has never been a fan guide to Doctor Who. The official books might give you what they think you need to know, but only a guide written by a true fan will give you what you really want to know. Join Whovian, the brilliant Mackenzie Flaw, as she takes you on an intensive journey inside the world of the first female Doctor. In the Binge Watcher's Guide to Doctor Who, Season 11. Right, let's get a shift on.
Meet the Doctor,
I'm the doctor.
but not the one you were expecting.
All right, sexy. It's time to go home.
Doctor Who Velocity, streaming now.
We are a touring acoustic duo crashing kitchens around the country. We go from house to house every Friday night, and we create music, we create food, a good time, we stream it live, and we do it for free. So now we're just really kind of like trying to develop it and build a community group that people believe in, then they'll help us. So we played from our rehearsal room, we played from the bathroom, thankfully that didn't catch on.
I probably played guitar in my room, not for anyone, in front of anyone, nobody heard, for probably about 10 years.
And then one Friday night we played from the kitchen. It's the main place people want to be. It's where the food is, it's where the drink is, it's where the best lighting is. You can go to any party and I guarantee you the kitchen is going to be popping.
Our ultimate goal, I think, would be to crash kitchens every Friday all around the world.
And welcome back to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. My name is Christian Basil. We are here with Tom, Dave, Mark, and Mackenzie, and we're reviewing today, Once and Future, the Big Finish audio, The Martian Invasion of Planetoid 50, starring David Tennant as the 10th Doctor, Michelle Gomez as Missy, and the entire Paternoster Gang, including... I almost said Neve Campbell. What's her name? Neve? What's her last name? Somebody.
Give me a second.
Dan Starkey, Neve, and I should know this for crying out loud.
McIntosh.
McIntosh.
Say
Yes.
that right.
Yeah, Neve McIntosh and Catrin Stewart. Yep. As
Yeah.
Jenny Flint.
Old man.
Here we go. We're just reviewing them today. And if you have anything you want to discuss about this audio, questions about it, please put it in the chats right now. And don't forget, we are going to...
Not yet. Spoilers.
There you go. We're having spoilers all night long out there talking about this episode. And without further ado, the next person, okay. Oh, Andrew. The rumors going around that the 60th often mention multiple specials, each focusing on one Doctor. In the end, Big Finish did what the BBC could have done. Yes, I agree. Doctors 4 through 10 each get an episode, and a few others along the way. I wish Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi would have done some Big Finish. I don't know why they're avoiding that. Even Jodie is.
Still thinking they're too attached to it, so they don't want to come back to Doctor Who just yet. I think both of them have said that.
Well, Matt's got HBO money.
Because Capaldi was a big man early days, so
Matt's got HBO money, and I know Peter's got Amazon money because I know he's doing projects out there. So once you get that taste, once you're out of that taste, it's pretty well. And the next reviewer is going to be Mackenzie. She rated a 9, tied with Mark. Talk to us, Mackenzie. What do you think about the episode? Good? Not much too bad if you're going to put a 9 up there. So tell us a little bit about it.
A lot of stuff Mark already kind of said, which is fine. Like the very first thing that really took me kind of like, was hard for me to listen to was what they did with Jenny, because in a way she kind of sounds robotic. And I was like, okay, why does she sound so odd? I'm like, is she under a spell? Is she actually a robot? I actually thought she was a robot at one point before realizing that she had been put under a spell, but it was really like kind of hard to listen to. It would throw me out of the story whenever she would say something, because I'd be like, why is she talking like this? It just didn't sound right. But then later on, finding out that she had been hypnotized, like, oh, all right, well, that makes much more sense. The other thing is, I didn't realize how much I missed all these guys. I miss Missy in the Paternoster Gang. I love them. It made me really just want more of them. And I'm just like, oh gosh, that was that. The other thing that Mark had talked about was also with the Missy, with how she did. Michelle Gomez did do a lot of talking of ad libs, and in fact, if you listen to like the background of everything after you've listened to the actual story, is David Tennant mentions how they listened to her having to ad lib so much, and sometimes they didn't even know when they were supposed to come in. Mm-hmm. So that might explain that 10-second odd pause that you might hear every now and then. And that's why, because she all of her lines were almost none of it was in the actual script. She just ad libbed it all, which I found that was brilliant, because I found that for me, Missy was really what sold that whole entire CD. And I felt like whoever the writer was really got her right, got her personality down spot on. And then I'm like, well, that makes sense. If she and Michelle did all the ad libs, well, that makes a lot more sense. She would know Missy more than anybody else. The other thing that I probably would have nabbed it down on, and it might have been something I missed, was that in the degeneration that Tennant's doctor automatically recognized Misty after figuring out it was Time Lord that was the monster. And I was like, how would he know that? Because if we go from of course, I didn't realize that there was stuff in front of it. So I was like, how does he go from the first doctor who had not had any type of interaction with the monster? We didn't have that in the classics until Pertwee. So the third doctor, I'm like, how does he recognize Missy as being the monster? And then realize, well, there's stuff before that. So that kind of makes sense that probably was something pulling back from another doctor of another CD. But if you didn't know that, I've been like, huh? Okay, that was the only thing that I had that I knocked it down for. But it was probably not something I even had to knock down for. And that's why I gave it a 9. I just loved it.
If I had any criticisms, they're very touchy. Like they're so minuscule. They're just like, okay, we could have done something here. There were all these audio pauses. But yeah, Michelle Gomez and Dan Starkey were eating audio wallpaper up. They were just taking over and just okay. I gotta, before I get to anything, I have to talk about the cringy elephant in the room, which
I wouldn't have been that bad. Oh, wait.
Wasn't, well, you see, I'm Classic Who, and I'm Classic Who. When every time Missy goes into her thing where she does a bit of the romance, it was bad enough to watch Capaldi, and it's like, you see, I think back at, am I watching Delgado and Pertwee lip locking each other? Because I see all the Mark. I see all the Classic Who masters and doctors. I'm like, oh god. So there was a little bit. I'll bring it up over there. There was a bit of a little romance between Ten and Missy, if you want to call it that, and that. It was fun because it's the two of them, but then it's also like a cringy moment and then I'm seeing all the past masters and all the past doctors getting it on. I'm just like, oh god, no.
There were a million shippers crying out.
That is,
and the fact that Tennant and Missy had never met, so that was kind of a fun bit in that of, you know, with this whole, that was the whole point of Once and Future, is throwing everything against the wall and seeing what sticks. It was very cool. So,
which I appreciated for that, and I that was just a bizarre moment for me. Like I said,
it's kind of an awkward moment in this scene too. And I love that Vastra interrupts right at the right time.
Yes.
So.
Did you two need to be alone? It's just like they're both denying it. That's what the weird part about it is.
Yeah.
They're both in the denial phase out there. So, let's see. Let me go ahead and bring on Tom because he rated the highest. He gave it a perfect score of 10. Tom.
And also the last. Aha!
And also the last. Tom, there was nothing wrong with this episode? Nothing?
I didn't want to go first.
Oh. I hate you.
Wah, wah,
He
wah.
does that at times there. So, Tom, why'd you rate it a 10? What did you...
I had to bring up TARDIS Wiki because I needed the background and anything I might miss along the way. I heard the first time I did something, so I kind of went, what? So listen, the second time I started laughing. On TARDIS Wiki, the publisher's summary states the Time War. The Doctor has been injured and brought to a Time Lord field hospital. His body glowing with energy, but this is no regeneration into a future form. Instead, the Doctor's past faces begin to appear as he flits. It actually says flits haphazardly between incarnations. So, okay, bring up the degeneration concept, which I remember seeing on a comic strip when 10th turned back to 9th. So, okay, I like this. I like the degeneration situation going back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
I try to put the figures in the background. I'm not looking at the screen right now. But I'm looking at the wrong screen. Okay, there we go. I took the War Doctor's TARDIS. I took a First Doctor, 10th Doctor, Missy, and of course, Third Doctor. So I like this going back and forth. The lost my train of thought. I try to listen to it first, like, who is this person? Like, oh, that's the First Doctor. Okay, I'll accept it. That's when between Missy and the Doctor, just back and forth. She's just going completely bonkers, out of her mind, as Missy as would. And so I didn't see any foul. Of course, I don't really pay much attention to things, but you know, it was the Paternoster Gang, it was Missy, it was 10th Doctor. It was so much fun for me. That's why I enjoyed it so much. I had nothing to nitpick on.
No, that's fine. Gave it a 10 out there. So cool now.
The word buildings. Doctor was at Vastra and Jenny Flint's wedding. I love that. With Strax saying, "Oh, you are the hero of the battles of Demon Run, the scourge of the cyber race." But I don't know you. Yeah. I know a little fellow with a bow tie, an angry weathered biped with a strange intonation, and a cheeky boy with yellow hair. It's like, okay. It's like, it's so much fun. So that's why I don't have anything to pick on. It was War of the Worlds too. It was like, wow, I don't have a prop for that, but I did have the prop of time after time. I have Mackenzie's second book. I can't find the first one anywhere, and everyone said everything. Everyone said everything else. I mean, I like audios. You sit there. You may have to listen to it twice to get focused on, because I see everything happening.
Mm-hmm.
I see Strax roaming around and like, I have made a new kingdom, or whatever you said. Underground? Yes. Started. Come along, boy. So it was all around fun. I mean, I could have won 9.5, but I want to hear what the next ones are going to be about. And that's what it should have been. This should have been Big Finish again, made a proper anniversary episode, like we had a light at the end. That was a proper episode. What we had was good, but I can listen to Light at the End over and over again with all the classic Doctors going back and forth. That's just me.
One of the things that I had an issue with, and this was at the very beginning, and I actually listened to it twice. I thought the First Doctor was a little too creepy with Jessamy.
It's also the 60s, so you think James Bond as well. It's like, yeah, so
And the
that's
way that
how it was.
And I think the only other issue I had is companions are so like you walk into the doctor's world and you just kind of accept it. And for Jessamy, she's right. I know she's writing down in her book and writing everything down, but it's just like it's almost like be like writing down Super Mario Brothers. There's an Italian guy who's a plumber who's beating up rocks and throwing turtles around, and all of a sudden this makes sense to somebody. But those were, I think, my two issues is there, and I think I wanted Jessamy to be a little bit more like, what the hell is this? What's going on out there? She just kind of like kept writing on her book, and I was just like, okay, at some point you're going to ask something. And I thought the first Doctor was a little too creepy to her. I could be totally wrong about that. Did anybody have that vibe, or did you think?
How did you feel Twice Upon a Time then?
Yeah.
Compare the first Doctor here with the Doctor in Twice Upon a Time. How do you think how he interacted with Bill? How was that comparison?
Well, the things like they were going to give her a good spank. I think that's the word that were. What was the word that they used for Bill? I think they could have just gotten away from that and kind of just wrote for the first Doctor instead of trying to make him timely, or that he was part of a time like in the 60s out there. I would have probably written him more current, meaning that we still have the 60s Doctor, but those little things that that wouldn't pass for today, we would just kind of, okay, we don't talk about that anymore. He didn't pull out a bong. He didn't pull out a bowl and start smoking or anything like that. I mean, it's things that we've kind of accepted. And I thought maybe they should, Moffat should have focused more about the first Doctor as a character than try to, find humorous things that were back then and just like, okay, we're not going to mention that. We know that was weird, but to bring it up now in the present day, I'm just like, okay. And in fact, if you really think about it, Mark, the 3 Doctors and the 5 Doctors, all the Doctors respected the first Doctor. They had total respect.
They still did a bit in the 5 Doctors where Tegan's about to punch Richard Turtle as William Martin because he's like, go make some tea, and he's like, and Davison's like, no, I'm not the man I was. Yeah,
right, but I mean. But it still was, to me, in character of the way that the first Doctor approached things. He just walked into the room.
I think it was, again, just that right little bit. It might have been a little over the top. But again, for audio, you're trying to make sure that people realize this is the first Doctor. So I think they played into that a little bit. So gotcha. I liked, again, I love that Tim Treloar at the end there. He didn't need a little play. He just suddenly is the third Doctor. Releasing the Martians onto Mars, which I thought was a fun little bow to wrap the story up with, rather than and I did love Missy was like, I may have made some embellishments. I didn't I made them immune to viruses.
The giant hornet.
That ending's terrible. And it is. That ending of the book is probably the only problem with the book. Is the ending is the Stephen King ending. I've written this amazing book. I don't know how to end it. Oh, okay, I'll give him a cold.
As Missy put it, great art great art makes for a few broken brushes. What was I catch? Oh yeah, I called the little Martians Pokemon. Just gotta catch them all. I kept on referring to that.
I did look in the book. It talks about the Martians howling, and it never says what they say or anything like that. And then we get the musical version. Made it infamous with their ooh la type cry, and I still say that every time I drive down the road and see a water tower somewhere, much to my children's chagrin after 30 years of dealing with that with me. But I thought that was great when they did that in the audio drama, and David Tennant goes, "Well, it never quite lives up to what you think it's going to be."
I also have a line Strax says, "Changing your under things."
Yep.
That is typical Strax out there. What were you? Were there things that you were looking for in the relationship between all three, meaning the Paternoster Gang, 10, and Missy, that you would have liked to expand it on?
I would have liked to have seen Jenny, Vastra, and Strax take down a couple fighting machines. I think they needed a big action moment. Vastra has one moment where she slides down the tentacle and chops off, the eye from one of the big scenes in the book. Give them that. They are the action heroes of the Victorian age. And that would have been an amazing, just fun little throwaway bit. Because at this point, but I know at the end, the whole point is these are just creatures that Missy has raised up and created to be the Martians. So killing an innocent creature would have been bad. But still, I think it would have been given them an action scene. Don't actually necessarily kill the Martian inside, but at least destroy one of the machines, because that's in the book. We at least get a couple of them in the book. In the musical version, we get 3, because the Thunderchild takes one out and the Artillerymen take one out. But the Thunderchild takes 2 out. So, but we didn't take out any in this. So I was a little disappointed that there was a little lower on the action. But that's Doctor Who. Let's brains over brawn. But that's the Paternoster Gang. They're a bit of both.
And folks in the chat, I'm just going to throw a question at you. If you're interested in this particular episode, tell us yes or no if you are willing to take a listen to it. Again, the episode's called The Martian Invasion of Planetoid 50. It's part of the Once and Future series with this 60th anniversary for Big Finish in celebration thereof. And I think the most wonderful thing is the banter. What are you doing there?
Isn't it lovely? Yes.
Oh, okay. But the banter, I think that steals the show the most is the stuff between 10 and Missy when they're just getting on. And then I guess we would have to pay sympathy to the editor who had to deal with all those improvisation from Michelle Gomez and trying to edit in where everything is supposed to go. But I would not have. I don't think it would have been more satisfying if she read the script. I think her little takes and her little ditties out there. Does anybody have anything else they want to add to that we may have overlooked? But I went through all my notes, and I think it's a fun episode. It's something that if you know, I call classic New Who, would have a great time listening to, and not even knowing about the Union and not being able to figure out degeneration. This is something I would recommend everybody listen to. It is fun, it's exciting, and of course, it's a Paternoster Gang, 10 and Missy all together, and that's what's so great about Big Finish. It'll take a combination and go, okay, what do you think about these guys getting together or having their own series like the Paternoster Gang? So is anybody else wanted to add to the conversation about what we had missed? Anything in the chat, Dave?
Not a bunch. Now, not on this anyways. I mean, we do have some conversation that I should pop up here.
Sure.
That we do have it is premiere week. And Kevo is going to help me hosting the watch parties that we're going to be doing again.
Sweet.
Nice.
Yay! So if I can, we will be up, and where did it go? Did you take it? Maybe I just didn't put it up there.
Touched anything.
I thought I had the graphic, but yeah, we will have the watch parties yet again. So as a reminder, it is midnight on the 11th.
There we go.
I just have to pop out the comment. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, we will be on Friday, Saturday morning at midnight in English time. What you're going to do is you will pop onto your Disney Plus or BBC iPlayer so that you can watch the episode. Kevo, myself, and who knows who else will be sitting here and able to chat in the chats with you. We won't talk through the episode because that's just rude. However, we will get to do that, and it will be fabulous and wonderful. And I am there we go. So we've got that going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there we go. Happy premiere week. Kev was so excited. Roger's not. Why are these in a weird order? Yeah, Roger won't be joining us. So, Roger, you said you're going to have to watch them later, slightly after. So please feel the video will still be there. So if you want, you can certainly still pop on and just watch it with us. Even though we're no longer live, we can still join you and you can still have fun. Melanie in the comments there, super excited for the premiere this week. I think we all are. Like, are we not all kind of excited for this? I think we are. Why are you?
We're driving to the Hodag Festival in Rhinelander, Wisconsin. So I'm almost all the way to you, Dave, up there for next weekend. We'll be there the following weekend, a week ahead of time, visiting a bunch of cryptid locations. We're going to be visiting Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, the home of Dungeons and Dragons 50th anniversary.
Nice.
We'll be up there for that. And so I'm going to be doing the Beast of Bray Road and a few other haunted and spooky locations for Eerie Travels on the way. But we're going to be watching that from a hotel room as soon as we can. So that's my plan.
Yeah, so just jump in on
Can't wait.
Yeah, jump in on the chats, please. Or I mean, if you want
to
if
you got enough Wi-Fi signal, I'll be on. So.
Yeah, there we go. Since we've got you up here and we're basically closing the show, I'll just jump on Christian's line here and say, where else can we find you, Mark?
EerieTravels.com. That's our podcast is on twice a week. We do myths, monsters, legends, ghosts, deep dives on all things spooky and eerie. And you can also find my books everywhere. The Eerie Appalachia is our bestseller from New York Times, my most recent, but Eerie Florida, Freaky Florida, Creepy Florida. You can also find them at every bookstore and find Cracker Barrels throughout the Appalachians in Florida. And yes, this shirt is amazing. I love my Scooby-Doo Dungeons and Dragons cartoon crossover. So, nice. And enjoying the 50th anniversary. So if you're on our Eerie Travels Patreon, we do a Eerie Travels D&D game on our Discord for the Eerie Travels Discord. And that you don't even have to be a Patreon member. Just join our Discord at EerieTravels.com. You can find the links on our YouTube at Eerie Travels too.
All right, we're coming into the end of the show. We'll make it quick. On the thing, we got a few announcements. Mackenzie, where can people find you?
Well, you can find me right down here at youtube.com/MackenzieFloorExtended. Also on Twitch and pretty much all the social medias under Mackenzie Floor. Twitch is where I do most of my streaming on, and I stream on Thursdays from 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time up to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This week in particular, we're going to be playing some Lethal Company with some a person that I met last year who actually just is real on the edge of getting partnered, and she's celebrating her 3rd year anniversary, and we'll be playing some more Stellar Blade too, probably right before then, because I don't know exactly when that's all starting.
And Bourbonamagon, where can people find you?
You can get me on the social on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/@REVERENDAMAGON. Twitch, you only nope, not going there.
You're not going there?
No, I started going with another page. I'm not going.
I was trying to show people what Mackenzie's page looks like. So there. I'm hoping. I hate that, but there you go.
Sort of, kinda.
So that's what her
sort
page
of kind
looks
of
like.
worked.
And Dave, where can people find you? Oh, Melanie is going to have a panel at San Diego Comic-Con in July. Hopefully there will be a Doctor Who panel then as well. Okay.
And I know Nisha will also be around.
Nisha will be there as well.
Yeah. So there's a few of us there. Sadly, not me. As for me, you can find me at really, if you want my reviews, it's therathole.ca, just the website. Socials are, either therathole.ca or therathole.dotca, depending on if whatever platform will allow you to put a, character in there or not. Just as a reminder, I will be back live in about 50 minutes playing some Park Life.
Mm-hmm.
That is this adorable little guy right here.
The Build-A-Bear game.
He holds the cards, so you can check that out. over on my channels in about 50 minutes. Please and thank you. If you are watching The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS right now over on X, because I do see you there, please pop by any of all of our socials, but Legend of the Traveling TARDIS and the rest of us. That way you can actually join in the conversation, such as Roger here saying he's going to join the watch party at a later time.
There you go.
You can't do that on X, but if you do that on Twitch, if you do that on YouTube, you do that on Facebook, we can actually interact with you on these shows. Same thing for myself. My show will go up on my X, but I can't do anything. So please join us where we can have a conversation. Christian, where can we find you, Christian?
Where can you find me? Well, I'm going to be adding these in because we are going to be at conventions. We just acquired one more. Space Coast Comic-Con.
Yay.
Space Coast Comic-Con will be taking place the weekend of June 15th to the 16th. Geeking out and joining us will be Dalek Cal. And if you're not familiar with Dalek Cal, he has a plethora of shorts. You can also join Dalek Cal on his Facebook page, facebook.com/Daleks of Orocas. But we got the link up, it's facebook.com/Dalek Hal, HAL. And we'll be joined together at Space Coast Comic-Con. It's going to be taking place at the Wickham Park Community Center from June 15th to 16th, as well as now we are adding Ancient City Con. These guys are great. We finally put everything together, and they're going to be telling us about which panels we will be doing, which is a first, because normally conventions will ask us, hey, what panels do you want to do? We give them the ideas, and they tell us what to do. Ancient City says we'll talk about it. So we're going to be hosting panels. Dalek Hal will be out there. This is the first time the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS has ever been to this location. This will be taking place the weekend of September 13th through the 15th at the World Golf Village Renaissance Resort inside the convention center. There for tickets and information, ancientcitycon.com. And we'll be definitely out there. And of course, don't forget to join Dave, I almost said Nico, Dave, Kevo, and maybe Nico will be on there.
Maybe
and
Nico can join.
Nico can join. Anybody can join for the double premiere of Space Babies and The Devil's Cord. They will be doing a live watch party, and you'll be doing the review as well, right? Right after.
We'll at least have a chat about it.
Okay.
We won't do a formal review, but we will be having a chat about it. And what we'll do is we'll watch the first episode as close to drop as we can, and then in between the episodes, we'll take a couple of minutes just to let anyone who's come in late catch up, refresh your snacks, whatever else you have to do, and then we'll watch the second one. So yeah, please join us. And yes, Nico will probably, and Jonah will probably be off screen. Okay. So yay, that's fine. Off screen is just as important.
We'll take any support where we can get it out there. Speaking of which, again, thank you everybody for bringing us to this new goal, which didn't take long at all, and we're getting very close to the next goal. Hopefully, with some higher numbers, so 5,500 subscribers. And before you leave, make sure that you like, share, comment. Thank you for watching, everybody. Please stay safe out there, because we can't do the show without you, and we want you to be part of the Hooniverse and the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Comment and subscribe. Thank you so much. Tony, take us out.